Y'all, I'm back. I think my phone was overheating. I went back and checked the video. My audio was good. But yeah, I'm unsympathetic because, y'all are pathetic. And it's just crazy, man, that nobody's outraged at Joe Biden giving the Ukrainians $13.6 billion. But we're happy that we got Taraji P. Henson and Chris Paul to work with the HBCUs. They passed an anti-lynching bill. Anti-lynching, who's getting lynched? Who's getting lynched? Why do we need an anti-lynching bill? Who's getting lynched? Who's getting lynched? We have laws against murder, right? Murder is wrong, right? Murder is illegal, right? Except when it comes to abortion, but murder is wrong, right? So we have laws that punish those that are murderers and killers. So what is an anti-lynching bill going to do that the regular law doesn't already do? I don't get it. That's crazy. What is an anti-lynching bill? Someone just said it. Lynching is already illegal. What is an anti-lynching bill? It's nothing. An anti-lynching bill is absolutely nothing. It's a virtue signal. Why aren't you all upset? Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians $13.6 billion, but he gave you all Taraji P. Henson, Chris Paul, and some crack pipes. Why are you all not upset? He gave the Ukrainians $13.6 billion. Joe Biden gave some Nazis $13.6 billion and gave you all Taraji P. Henson and Chris Paul. Please explain to me why you all not upset. Why are you all not protesting and marching? Why are you not stealing flat screens and bundles? Why are you all not outraged at what Joe Biden is doing? He literally gave them $13.6 billion and gave you Taraji P. Henson, Chris Paul, and crack pipes, and nobody's upset. Why is nobody upset? You told me that Wells Fargo was racist. Wells Fargo wasn't giving you all the loans. They weren't giving you all loans for your home. They weren't giving you all loans for your business. So why are you not protesting against Wells Fargo? I keep telling you all that nobody believes this racism stuff. Because if they really believed it, the reaction would match what they believe. It's no different than people putting their money towards what they believe in. So when you all want to go out and have a good time, you all pay to go into them clubs. You all pay for those sections. You all pay for those bottles. You all pay for those vacations. You pay for those purses. You pay for those shoes. You pay for those outfits. You pay for them lace fronts. You pay for them wigs. You pay for what you want. So you all take action towards the things you want. So my question is, why are you not taking action to go against Wells Fargo, to go against what Joe Biden is doing? Why are you not going against it? Why? Please explain to me. Please explain to me why you're not going against it. Please. I'm trying to understand. Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians, Joe Biden gave a bunch of Nazis $13.6 billion, and he gave you all Taraji P. Henson and CP3. Please tell me why you aren't upset. I spoke on the first part I did, and I said it's really a psychological issue. It's worse than Stockholm Syndrome. What you all have is you want to be oppressed. So that's something different. Identifying with the person that's oppressing you is the Stockholm Syndrome, right? That's the Stockholm Syndrome. What you all want is oppression by any means necessary. That's why most of these events you see are staged. Ain't nobody trying to bomb the HBCUs. Somebody said consensual oppression. I love it. That's the consensual oppression syndrome. That is what it is. Consensual oppression syndrome. because you want to be oppressed. So what you do is you create scenarios so you can be oppressed. You almost make somebody oppress you. You almost make somebody oppress you. There is nobody trying to bomb the HBCUs. It's a lie. Most of these events you see are staged. It's a lie. It's staged. You mean y'all told me that Trump made America racist? You all told me that Trump made these white people racist. So when Trump was in office, why didn't the white people want to bomb the HBCUs? Why didn't the white people want to bomb the HBCUs when Trump was in office? Why not? Why didn't Trump want to bomb the HBCUs? Not Trump. Why didn't the people that follow Trump want to bomb the HBCUs while he was in office? We had the same fake bomber that wanted to bomb the Library of Congress or the White House or whatever. He had a fake bomb. Remember him? That was fake. That was fake. Where's he at now? You heard about his trial? Did he get sentenced? Did he get convicted? Where's the fake bomber guy? Is he convicted? Where is he? How about the guy that plowed through the crowd and killed those people? Injured 40-something people, killed 8 people. How about that guy? Remember? Then the media lies he was running from the cops. No, he wasn't. He plowed through a parade. Where is he at? Is he convicted? Where is he? Nobody knows. But you do know about the HBCU bomb threats. You know about that. You don't know about the guy that plowed through the crowd in Wisconsin. You don't know about what happened to the fake bomber, but you know about the bomb threats on HBCUs. How convenient. Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians $13.6 billion, and you all got crack pipes, an anti-lynching bill, Taraji P. Henson and Chris Paul, and Maya Angelou on the quarter, and nobody's upset. So you can't convince me that it's about racism. You can't convince me that any of this is about racism, because you all aren't even outraged at actual racism. You all aren't even outraged at actual racism. An anti-lynching bill as if lynching is legal. What are we doing? An anti-lynching bill as if lynching is legal. What are we doing? Murder is illegal. Lynching is illegal. What is an anti-lynching bill going to do? It's just, why are we not upset about this? Why are we more upset at a stage slap? Why are we more upset at Will Smith on one side and Chris Rock on the other? Why are we more upset at them than at Joe Biden? And y'all want to convince me that it's about racism. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. Consensual oppression syndrome, I love it. Consensual oppression syndrome, I love it. Trump did for you. You hated him. Biden doesn't do anything for you. You love him. The fact that Trump did things for you made you hate him. The fact that Joe Biden doesn't do anything for you makes you love him. Consensual oppression syndrome. It's worse than Stockholm syndrome. It's worse than Stockholm syndrome. You all want to be oppressed. You all will literally stage. Juicy Smollett should have let you know to what lengths we'll go to create a racist scenario, to create a hate crime. The Juicy Smollett situation should have let everybody know what lengths we'll go to do it. There was a woman here in Georgia. She was putting letters in people's mailbox in the subdivision and saying it was the KKK. And come to find out, it was a woman from our community. Why would she stage it? Why would she fake it? Because she wants to feel oppressed. And she wants the folks in that neighborhood to feel oppressed. Some children at McClatchy High School in my hometown of Sacramento, they had the water fountain where they put the black only and white only. And it was some children from our community. Why would they do it? Because they want to feel oppressed. You see, this has never been about racism. This has always been about wanting to be oppressed. But you all want to be oppressed because you don't want the responsibility of being independent. So the children of Israel, they wanted to be free, not to do what God wanted them to do, They wanted to be free to be taken care of. They wanted to be free to be taken care of. They didn't want to be out there getting it out the mud. All that stuff we brag about, getting it out the mud, get it off the muscle, all these little cliche sayings are all lies in our community. We want to be oppressed. We want to be taken care of. Because there's no way on God's green earth that we could not be outraged at the fact that Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians $13.6 billion and we got crack pipes, an anti-lynching bill, Taraji P. Henson, and Chris Paul. There's no way. And then, to add insult to injury, Hampton University said, we're going to accept 50 Ukrainian students. They can get a college degree for free, with free tuition and free room and board. And you want to tell me it's about racism. Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians $13.6 billion and Hampton University had the audacity to say, we're going to accept 50 students from the Ukraine and we're going to give them free room and board and tuition. And you all want to convince me that it's about racism. You all want to convince me it's about racism. They said that Wells Fargo is not giving us the home loans, not giving us the business loans, but yet nobody's protesting Wells Fargo. Will Smith didn't say nothing about it. Chris Rock didn't say nothing about it. Jada Pinkett Smith didn't say nothing about it. The Oscars didn't say nothing about it. Neither did Pfizer. Neither did BioNTech. Neither did Moderna. Neither did Johnson & Johnson. Nobody's talking about what Wells Fargo did. Why not? If America's so racist and you can prove it, why is nothing happening? Who is suing Wells Fargo? Is there a class action suit? Is Wells Fargo being sued? Who is suing Wells Fargo? Who? It's disgusting. I'm not sympathetic because you all are pathetic. I'm not sympathetic because simp sounds too much like simp. The sympathetic, the simp, and the sympathetic sound too much like a simp. So I'm not sympathetic because y'all are pathetic. I'm not empathetic either because y'all are pathetic. So I realized it's not about racism. And I realized this maybe about a year and a half ago. I saw all these people tearing these cities apart and destroying our businesses. I watched all these people tearing our cities apart, even destroying our businesses. And when they put a microphone in their face and asked them what they wanted, nobody could articulate an answer. So that lets me know that we didn't want anything. Malcolm X was right. We are literally controlled by white. That's why I say the consciousness of Black America is controlled by white liberals. This is why it's so dangerous to be Black. Because when you're Black, you're existing between two ideas that oppose each other. On one hand, you say you're better than white people, and on the other hand, you say that white people are oppressing you. These ideas exist in the heads of the people in Black America. This is what Black culture is. Black culture is idol worship. It's satanic. It's demonic. It's anti-God. It's everything wicked and evil in this world. Because in the minds of these people, they really believe that they're better than white people. And at the same time, white people are oppressing them. It's absolutely insane. But it further reiterates my point on the psychological damage that we've created amongst ourselves. Because we created Black culture. We did it. Somebody said, why isn't Black Lives Matter Global Network suing Wells Fargo? Why are we not taking action against Wells Fargo if they're so racist? We created an anti-lynching bill with no lynching. We created an anti-lynching bill with no lynching, but we won't go after Wells Fargo. So what does that tell you? Nobody believes this racism stuff. Nobody believes this racism stuff. Nobody. And anybody talking about racism, hear me clearly. Anybody talking about racism is working for the system. Anybody out there fighting against racism is working for the system. Anybody out there doing social justice work is working for the system because they're all built on lies, because they're all part of a system of control. All you woke weekend warriors are working for the system, because those same woke weekend warriors will be the same ones telling the government that you don't have your ID pass, you don't have your chip, you haven't had your latest injection. They're going to be the same people selling you out. They're going to be the same people coming down, knocking on your door telling you that you got to get your monthly injection or monthly insert. I don't know what they're going to have in the future. They're going to be the same people. The new world order will be ushered in by all these woke people. And our people, the chosen people, the Israelites, the Moors, the kings and queens are going to be the very people ushering in the Antichrist. We are the people of influence. We influence everybody. So what makes you believe when the Antichrist comes, we won't be the influencer? We will be. We will usher in the Antichrist just like we ushered in Obama. Just for Obama to decimate the wealth in our community through the loss of homeownership. Decimate it. And you all praised him like he was Yahusha himself. I'm not sympathetic because you all are pathetic. How are y'all not outraged at Joe Biden giving the Ukrainians $13.6 billion and giving you all crack pipes, an anti-lynching bill with no lynching, Taraji P. Henson, Chris Paul, and Maya Angelou on a quarter? Why are you all not outraged? But you all have the audacity to call me a sellout. You have the audacity to call me a bootlicker. You have the gall to call me a coon. And I'm the only one telling you all that you should be outraged at the obvious. At the obvious. Trump did for you and you hated him. Biden's doing nothing and you love him. Don't tell me it's about racism. Don't tell me it's about racism. It's not about racism. It's about a lack of character in our people, because black culture doesn't promote character. In fact, black culture promotes the opposite of character. We have two ideas existing in our heads at the same time. We feel like we are better than white people, and at the same time we are oppressed by white people. Those two ideas contradict and oppose each other, but they never meet inside of our head, ever. And so we exist in a constant state of confusion. A double-minded man and woman are unstable in all of their ways. So that means you are unstable, which means you can be controlled. That's why to be black is to be controlled. How are y'all more upset that Will Smith did a fake slap on Chris Rock than you are at Joe Biden? How are you all more upset at Chris Rock because he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith than you are at Joe Biden? How are you more upset at Jada Pinkett Smith for emasculating Will than you are at Joe Biden? Don't tell me it's about racism. I'm not sympathetic because you all are pathetic. Don't tell me it's about racism. Be honest and say we want to be oppressed because it's easier existing if someone else is always to blame. Just say we want to be oppressed because it's a lot easier to exist when someone else is all to blame. We took God's word and we destroyed it. You know why? Because we treated God not like a heavenly father. We treated God like a pimp. We treated God like a pimp. And what we did, we went and hit them streets and did all this stuff that wasn't going to amount to nothing, and then went back to God and said, are you pleased? We treated God like a pimp. God said, I love you. I want to bless you. I want to bless your name. I'm going to make your name great. I made you more than a conqueror. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. Wonderfully and fearfully made. All that. And we go to God begging for the rent. We go to God begging for a meal. We go to God begging for our rights. What? God said he knew us before we were in the womb. And we begging for rights? You don't have any rights? And you a child of the Most High? We treated God like a pimp. That pimp is only going to give that prostitute something to wear, something to eat. She ain't going to never get no money. So y'all go to God like God's the pimp. You want your mortgage paid. You want your rent paid. You want to be able to go on a trip. You want to get these shoes. You want to get these clothes. You just want to be comfortable. You don't want any money. You don't want any money. Don't tell me it's about racism. Don't tell me it's about racism, because it's not. It's about a lack of character in the individual. That's what is the cause of all of your problems. How you gonna have the idea that God can conquer all and then tell me racism is oppressing you? Again, two ideas in your head that never touch, they never communicate, but they contradict each other. They oppose each other. Therefore, you are unstable. Just think about how many ideas that our people have in their heads that literally contradict each other. Hundreds, thousands. This is why to be black is to be controlled. Because once you're reduced to a color, you have removed the divinity from you. Now you don't belong to the Most High. Now you belong to a system. There's no way you all cannot be outraged at Joe Biden giving the Ukrainians $13.6 billion. There's no way you all could not be outraged at Joe Biden giving a bunch of Nazis $13.6 billion. There's no way that you all could not be outraged at Joe Biden giving $13.6 billion to some people that would spit in your face, but then giving you crack pipes, an anti-lynching bill with no lynching, Taraji P. Henson and Chris Paul and Maya Angelou on a quarter and possibly Harriet Tubman on a food stamp. There is no way on God's green earth that you all are not outraged by that. So because you all are not outraged by that, and because you all aren't outraged by what Wells Fargo supposedly did to you all, by not giving you the business loans and the home loans, that lets me know that this whole thing can't be about racism. It can't be. This whole thing cannot be about racism. It's impossible. So I don't want to hear about racism anymore, because I saw you all tear the streets apart, even destroying our businesses for the likes of George Floyd, for the likes of Breonna Taylor, for the likes of the guy that was it Jacob Blake? For the likes of these people, you all tore the streets apart. And then when Joe Biden gives the Ukrainians $13.6 billion and gives you all nothing, gives you all crack pipes, you all are silent. So you can't convince me that any of this is about racism. Don't bring up racism anymore. Anybody talking about racism, anybody fighting against racism, anybody being an activist towards and against racism is working for the system. How do we know? Because we only react to something that is so-called racist when white liberals tell us to do it, when white Jewish liberals tell us to do it, which means we don't actually know what racism even is. And so if we don't know what racism even is, then how can we determine what's racist? We can't. But I can tell you what we do know. We do know that we want to be oppressed. And so we find ways to oppress ourselves. That Juicy Smollett situation should let you know the lengths that we will go to seem and feel and be oppressed. Most of this stuff you see is staged and fake. There is nobody trying to bomb those HBCUs. Nobody. It's a lie. There's nobody that put a noose around Juicy Smollett's neck and drug him down the street as he held that footlong in his hand. Pause. Didn't happen. These events are staged. And the faster you all realize this, the freer or the quicker to freedom you all will be. Don't tell me it's about racism. I'm not sympathetic because you all are pathetic. You're pathetic. You are pathetic. Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians, some Nazis, $13.6 billion. And then Hampton University has the audacity to offer 50 Ukrainian students free tuition and room and board. And y'all want to tell me it's about racism. You hated Trump and he actually did things for you, but you love Joe Biden who doesn't do anything for you. So that lets me know it's not about racism. Most of you all don't even have the mental capacity to even assess any of this stuff. You are strictly operating off of emotion. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Because it all boils down to character. Y'all could have went to the promised land and did what was right. Y'all could have went to the promised land and thank God that you got your freedom. But you didn't want to go to the promised land for freedom. You wanted to go to the promised land to stunt. You wanted to go to the promised land like it was the club. You wanted to go in there to buy up all the bottles, buy up all the hookah, get all the sections, sparklers everywhere, smoke everywhere, DJ shouting you out. That's what you wanted. And then guess what? When it came time for the bill, you didn't want to pay it. You wanted somebody else to pay it. So y'all wanted to go to the promised land and have God do all the work. That's why you wanted to be free from Egypt. Because y'all basically turned your freedom into Babylon all over again. So don't tell me it's about racism. Be honest and say we want to be oppressed because it's easier when it's always somebody else's fault. It's easier. I'm not sympathetic because you all are pathetic. And there's no way that you are not outraged at Joe Biden. There's no way y'all not outraged at Hampton University. There's no way y'all aren't outraged at Wells Fargo. There's no way. I'm not sympathetic because y'all are pathetic. Don't mention racism anymore. Because next on the agenda is the transgenders. And then after that, it's going to be the transhuman. In that order. Racism is over with. You complaining about your race is done and over with. That's why they signed an anti-lynching bill with no lynching going on. That's why everything is a virtue signal. Because they know. That's why Joe Biden said give it to Hispanics. And they're going to say no, but we're going to love it. Asians are going to say no, but we're going to love it. The immigrants are going to say no, but we're going to love it because we want to be oppressed. So when they bring these camps up, these FEMA camps in these green zones, we're going by the millions because we want to be oppressed. We couldn't wait for Joe Biden to say, you got to do this or else. We couldn't wait for Joe Biden to say, get this snake bite or else. We couldn't wait for Joe Biden to say, get this Jim Jones juice or else. We couldn't wait because we want to be oppressed. We want it because life is so much easier when it's somebody else's fault. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.